Right now today we are celebrating the reopening of the lower half of the Children's Zoo here at the San Diego Zoo. It is now our Rio Rainforest Experience, and it's called that because we have our brand new Rio 4D Experience movie right here on grounds, and it is so exciting. It is quite an adventure.
You know that when we conserve one species and a habitat, that's not just that one species that's been conserved, because once we do that, every animal that's in that habitat has a better chance of survival.
One of the great themes that runs through the show, Rio the 4D Experience, is about conservation, about how rare some of these species are and how few there might be in certain areas of the world. The San Diego Zoo is located 35 places around the world right now actively doing conservation. We are a top breeding facility for many animals from South America where the show takes place. You know, it's not uncommon to get the question, what exactly is a 4D theater? Everyone knows what 3D is. Very popular now in movies, and even some televisions are being made that way. 4D experience includes a whole sense of touch and smell. As you're traveling through the tropical forest, a bit of citrus might come your way. As you're gliding through the air, you're going to feel the wind in your hair. All sorts of great adventures await when you watch the 4D experience.
So a great way for them to protect themselves.
This is a small size at about 38 pounds. And he hunters. And oftentimes you will see servals hunt like a little bear, and she walks kind of great, or flat-footed.
Really easy. And that is going to wrap it up for Desiree.
She's a really cool bird, a lot of fun to work with. And there's another great thing that she does.
These on their own. People are so excited to see them, they can't believe that they can walk together. You gotta be over 50 to remember this. Skippy. What's Skippy the bush king?
Travel along. See if she kind of barely touches back.
Go ahead and put her on your back.
Yeah. Tango's in training.
Here today at San Diego Zoo, in honor of Endangered Species Days, we're actually doing something very, very cool for our polar bears. We actually were able to provide them with about 28 tons of snow on exhibit. Now, we've been in a particularly hot week today, so our bears are particularly appreciative. And we've seen a lot of really neat stuff from our bears just this morning, having access to that snow out on exhibit. Today we've actually seen a lot of really neat behaviors. All three of our bears happened to be rescued from the wild at a very young age, so they didn't have the opportunity to grow up in the wild. So here with the snow, we're seeing a few things that are actually being elicited by the presence of the snow. You're going to see a lot of sliding, a lot of rubbing, things like that. These are things too that they actually utilize the snow to groom themselves. You're also going to see some of their toys such as plastic balls, blocks of ice, things like this. These are objects that bears are very investigative. They're very curious, so they like to manipulate objects and play with items. And so you'll see those out there mixed in with the snow as well. Once the snow starts to wear off with them a little bit, they're going to start to play with those toys as well. And really our number one goal here is to keep our bears as busy as we can throughout the day. This snow was actually brought to us by our donors. Here at San Diego Zoo, we are in fact a product of our community. And today our community stepped up and provided what is probably the best thing that we can provide these bears today. And really, we not only want to make our animals happy, but the people of San Diego are very important to us as well, because they're who provide these opportunities for our animals. So in a way, we're providing something for our bears, but it's also a thank you for the people who are involved with this.
What animal is found off San Diego's coastline and at the San Diego Zoo? Why, it's our handsome California sea lions. They've been delighting San Diego Zoo visitors with their abilities for years. Sea lions are great swimmers. Instead of arms and legs, they have flippers for feet. And a sea lion can swim, hitting top speeds approaching 20 miles an hour. He literally flies through the water with his great big pectoral flippers. Cabo, show him your flipper again. Good. Now they're also useful on dry land. Pulls himself along. Can even rotate his rear flippers underneath his body so that he's moving on all fours. Strong enough to support his entire body weight. Good boy, Cabo. What's that? Sea lions are air-breathing mammals, and he can hold his breath for about 40 minutes. He pinches his nostrils closed and can make a big, deep dive. What's that you say? Cabo's ready for lunch. Sea lions eat a variety of fish, squid, mussels, and clams, and it's his very favorite food. It always makes him smile. What's that? Time for another show? All right, let's go get ready for our Camp Critters show.
Grizzly bears are a type of brown bear, one of the 8 species of bears that live in our world. Here at the San Diego Zoo, we have 2 grizzly bears named Scout and Montana. They are 7 years old and they are brothers. Bears being omnivores, they're going to eat meat and plants. So we provide all different kinds of fruits and fish and meat and bones and treats like peanut butter when we do training with them. We also do ice blocks with fun foods hidden inside. We do nuts and seeds, all different kinds of foods. In the wild, they would eat a lot of different grasses and sedges. So here we'll give them a rotation of different kinds of vegetables. Carrots are one of their favorites, and greens. Scout and Montana, depending on the time of year, may eat a lot of greens, or they might not eat very many greens. This time of year, in the spring and summertime, they're eating almost 4 heads of lettuce each. Almost all of these greens are for their diet tomorrow. They would also eat whole animals like elk and deer. And here we would provide a meat-based diet and big bones for them to chew on so they can get the meat in their diet, as well as different kinds of fish that they would receive here. Enrichment is extremely important for animals' mental, physical, and emotional well-being. And we at the San Diego Zoo, as keepers, provide a lot of different enrichment activities and items to help stimulate animals and help them do behaviors they would do in the wild. For Scout and Montana, for example, we will do all different kinds of foraging activities in leaf piles. There'll be nuts and seeds and food bits. They get different kinds of bedding material, hay piles, logs where they can shred the bark and use that bark in their bedding, or we can also hide food in it. All kinds of things to get the boys running and playing and being active like they would out in the wild looking for food. So just like people, Scout and Montana are sometimes very active and sometimes they like to rest. And they make themselves little day beds to sleep in. And these consist of round, I call them bear bowls. They make a big round indentation in the ground, and then they line it with all different kinds of material. Hay and excelsior bedding, bark, whatever we can think of, we give it to the bears, and they will make themselves beds. And then they also will get pretty active and play in the pools and forage for food at different times of the day. So they have their own moods and make decisions for themselves on what they'd like to do for the day.
I want to invite you all to come in and explore Australian outback.